In this haircut tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do a mid fade with a textured crop. So I start off by wetting my client's hair, and we don't really take much length off the top, but we're adding texture. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna point cut with the scissors. This way, rather than cutting length off, I'm adding texture. If this is your first time on the channel, my name is Jonty Tekaha. I live in Sydney, Australia, and I help men go from being unconfident to having unshakable, true confidence in themselves through their hair. All right, now I'm gonna start by debulking the sides. I usually go with about a 1.5 guard open to debulk the sides. At least that's what I'm doing here. I find 1.5 open is the longest length that I'll pretty much fade up into. And what you're gonna notice is that when I'm fading, I'm just doing a bit of clip over comb to fade the top into the sides. But you'll notice when I'm fading, I only do. My steps are super simple, super easy. Whatever guard I use, I have the lever open on my clipper, and then I go. Then the next step is clipper closed, and then clipper halfway. And I pretty much just play in between to fade out the line. So I start by setting in my skin line, my bald line, with my clipper with the lever closed. A lot of people use their trimmers for this, but I find that it's a lot easier to fade out the line using my clipper instead, rather than my trimmer, rather than leaving a harsh guideline. All right, so now my clipper is open, just like I said. So now that my clipper is open, I'm gonna set my first guideline, and the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna close it up. Then I'll go halfway, and I'll kind of just play in between, going lever closed, open, halfway. I call it trigger play. I just open and close, open and close, open and close, just to fade out the line. And it's the exact same steps with all the guards I do. Now I've got the half guard. Same steps, I open up the half guard. Set in my guideline with the open half guard. And then what am I gonna do next? I'm gonna close it up and open and close, open and close, open and close, just to fade out the line. So I only use really 3 guards when I'm fading. 2 guards when I'm fading. The half guard and the 1 guard. All right, so I was actually really late. So I believe I was cutting my client here, and I was supposed to start cutting his hair at 11, I think. Yeah, I was running really behind, and I'm gonna show you that pretty much I was able to cut this client in a really good timely fashion. I think it took about, all up, the haircut took about 25 minutes, unedited. No guard open to set my first guideline, and then what am I gonna do to fade it out? If you are paying attention, I'm gonna be opening it and closing it. I'm gonna be opening and closing the lever to fade out the line. All right, I've got the half guard on, same thing, lever open. And then, now that I'm setting in my guideline with my lever open, what's the next step that I do? With that same guard, I open and close the lever. That's how I fade it out. Now really, you're not supposed to set guidelines in with the half guard, but I don't really care. It's just how I'm currently doing it, and it works for me. Thankfully, my clipper that I'm using is pretty strong. So it cuts through the hair using the half guard. All right, and now I got the one guard on. One guard, the lever, open. Then how am I gonna fade it up? One guard, open and closing. One guard, open and closing. I'm making sure as well that I'm flicking out constantly. I'm not over exaggerating it, but I'm flicking out a fair bit. All right, now I'm detailing the fade. See, like, this is all pretty simple. It's pretty simple. All right, now I'm just detailing the fade, or a little higher of the fade with clipper over comb. And I really enjoy using clipper over comb. I pretty much learnt how to cut using clipper over comb. The barbers that I was watching always use clipper over comb, and they were fading up into dark hair. Rather than fading into a specific length, they'd fade up to a specific look, which is a dark look. Right now I'm just detailing the bottom of the fade. All right, and now I've been trying this. I'm still not perfect at it, but I've been giving it a go. What I do, I use my trimmer and I go slightly above where the hair that I need to cut off is, and I kind of fade up into it. And then I take my trimmer and then I pretty much fade out the line that's been set with the trimmer. So then any length that's under the line with the set in with the trimmer, ideally, I won't need to fade out any lines and I'll just be able to skin that area. In theory, I'm still perfecting it. And I'm still seeing if it's, well, efficient. All right, now I'm just shaving it off with the trimmer. Then I'm about to use my foil shaver to skin the fade. So my fade isn't perfect just yet, but it's a pretty good rough draft, and then I'm gonna come in and detail it towards the end. Definitely once I've set in my lineup as well, then you can see the haircut for what it truly is, and it makes it a lot easier to detail at the end then. But if you're really tight on time, you might not have as much time at the end to detail. So just be as efficient as you can with your tools. All right, now with this hairstyle, I truly believe that having a softer look on the lineup really complements the haircut. My client's had this haircut for a couple of months now, and I think it's a really good look on him. I believe it really helps him look his best. Yeah, it's a really good pretty boy slash youthful, but still a bit of a dangerous look as well at the same time. And now I'm using the blade. So on my client here, I use the blade on my client's lineup, around the lineup, so at the forehead and any hair sticking out, and I also do the eyebrows as well. So pull the skin tight and hold the blade flat. And before the lineup, I put a bit of shave gel on my left thumb or on my left hand, and I just dab it whenever I need it. Yep. Now with the eyebrows, you want to keep the eyebrows dark. You want to keep the natural shape that there is. So what you need to know about eyebrows, if you're going to do eyebrows, keep them dark, keep them full. The majority of eyebrows have a natural arch on the bottom, so be aware of that. Not everyone's going to have an arch, but be mindful of enhancing the arch and just getting rid of the hairs that you need to get rid of, and not many other hair. So eyebrows, you want to leave as much hair as possible and just remove the hair that you need to remove. The reason eyebrows are so important in the man's look is that it creates a symmetrical look. So humans are attracted to shapes, and so humans view symmetry in a person's face as being attractive. They might not aesthetically be attractive, but if they have symmetry in their face, the brain likes that and considers it attractive as well. So having eyebrows that are on point can help you look symmetrical, therefore look attractive. And when you look attractive, you feel good about yourself and you feel confident. For how you look. Now, I'm from Sydney, Australia. I cut in the top rated barbershop in Revesby, New South Wales. And I help men go from being unconfident to having true confidence in themselves. So if you want a haircut from me and you want to feel confident in the way that you walk, the way that you talk, and the way that you look and feel, book your haircut with me. Link in the description, or go to jtcuts.com and feel your best and feel confident now. Just adding a bit of texture pattern to my client's hair, having a bit of a play around. And I'm just creating a look that I believe will suit my client. And you can see the texture, you can see the movement in my client's hair. Man. Awesome, awesome. All right, just doing some last minute detailing as well. Spreading out any dark spots. And I did end up running back on time later this day. I believe I caught up the next haircut. So I messaged the next haircut, the client that just walked in the door that I was 10 minutes behind. And then I did the same for the client after him, and then I was able to catch up in the day. All right, that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one.